Hello and welcome back in this very special, and this is the making a boring engine into a tuner's dream engine. As you can see, it's been a while since I made these kind of episodes, and a lot of you guys are asking to make this kind of episode and to continue the series that I made on my YouTube channel. And I'm more than happy to make it. I stopped doing them before because I thought people didn't really like them, but a lot of you guys are asking, please make them, and I'm more than happy to make them. And let's start with the most popular engine ever on Earth these days. A lot of you guys drove it as a rental or as your own daily driver car. It's a boring engine, but it's an efficient engine. Yes, as you can read up top, it's the Hyundai 1.4 MPI 4-cylinder engine. It's available on the Hyundai Accent and the Elantra or the Sonata, whatever. A lot of Hyundai cars use this kind of engine, and I think the only two that I know are the Accent and the Elantra. I'm not sure about the Sonata because that one uses a bigger engine, a 2-liter I think. But this one, the 1.4, it's a tiny engine. It's lighter. It's very lightweight and it's efficient. And can you imagine this tiny, lightweight, efficient engine with a tiny and lightweight body around it? It will make a great car. Not really great, not sporty, but it will make an efficient car. As we all know, all Hyundai cars are efficient. They are fuel economical, and they are cheap to mend and cheap to buy at the first place. Alright, so let's start with the specs of this engine. We have inline 4-cylinder engine, as you can see, but this is locked because I made two clones. This one, the stock one, and then I will switch to the other one and start to tweak it. We have inline 4 aluminum block material, 72mm on the bore, 84mm on the stroke, which equals 1368 cc engine, or you can say 1.4 liter engine. Dual overhead camshaft with 4 valves per cylinder, aluminum head material with no variable valve lift. No, they did not choose it. And we have cast iron crankshaft, cast connecting rods, and hypercast pistons. The reason I've chosen hypercast, I was reading a lot of articles on a lot of websites. Some of them said that it uses hypercast pistons, so that's why the engine has low emissions. And some other website says that it uses normal cast pistons, but basically they are basically the same. Both of them are cast, but this one makes less emissions, so don't worry here if it's wrong. Plus zero quality, as you can see on the internals. 10.5:1 is the compression ratio, and that was surprising for me. All of the Hyundai engines, all of them has high compression engine. All of them are high compression engines. There are even there is a supercharged version. I don't know, TGDI, whatever the name of it, also use a 9.5:1. So all of them has good compression ratio. That's why they are efficient, and they use a tiny amount of fuel, and they are lightweight, and the cars are lightweight, and that makes a great combination of fuel economy. We have 45 on the cam profile, and yes, this engine uses variable valve timing on all cams. They call it in the Hyundai division the DCVVT, which is like dual cam variable valve timing, plus 4 quality on the camshaft and the valves and the heads, or the head, sorry. Natural aspirated multi-point fuel injection. This is the multi-point fuel injection. This is the version of this engine. We have a single throttle body, standard intake manifold, and regular 91 octane fuel. 13 on the air fuel ratio. I know that this is a little bit too much, but with plus 4 quality here and plus 4 quality here, and with this kind of air fuel ratio, I achieved the perfect power and torque figures of this engine. 67 on the ignition timing with 6,300 is the official RPM limit. With short cast headers, single exhaust pipe, 1.8-inch exhaust diameter, or 44.4mm. We have 3-way catalytic converter, and I'm not really sure about it if it's a 2-way or a 3-way. I think it's a 2-way because it's a cheap car. I don't think that they are using 3-way. But if they are using, kudos to them. It's because the 2-way in automation game here, it's very restrictive, and I hate to use it. And I actually tried to use it. I increased the quality so I can make it to flow better and everything, but I could not achieve the correct power and torque figures of this engine. That's why I switched to a 3-way. No first muffler, reverse flow second mufflers, and plus 1 quality here. This is the final result: 99.5 horsepower at 6,300 rpm, like the official engine, 98.4 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 rpm. That's correct. And we have an 80.8 reliability, which is very good. The engine is lightweight, as you can see, 85.3 kilograms, and it's very lightweight. I mean, if you are a bodybuilder, you can just lift it. We have 93.1 is the engineering time, which is a little bit too much. I know that it takes a little time to be engineered, but the production units are very low, which is good to be produced. The emissions are low and uses nearly all the available octane. But this one, the fuel economy, I thought I could do much better in this engine. I think the real engine is more efficient than this one. Maybe not. I'm not really sure, because no one can tell that except the company itself, and the company won't tell you what kind of percentage is the fuel efficiency. So alright, this is how much I achieved. But there is another version of this engine, the direct fuel injected version. That one makes a lot of good fuel economy, because it's very efficient. Direct fuel injection is more efficient than multi-point fuel injection, and of course it runs on so little fuel. It runs very lean on air-fuel ratio, but this one is not, so you have to work with what we have. As you can see, it's quiet, it has good fuel responsiveness, and of course it has good smoothness, so it's perfect. It's a perfect engine for a city driving, daily driving car. That's why everyone loves to buy Hyundais, because they are economical, they are cheap to mend, cheap to buy, cheap to sell. Not cheap to sell. This is idiotic to say that. Alright, so let's move on. Let me fire up this beast, this tiny beast, and show you how it sounds and how it looks. It sounds very quiet. As you can hear, it sounds like the real engine, the real deal, the same sound, the same note, and I'm really happy with it. It's a torquey engine, it's good. I'm gonna keep this engine, and I'm gonna use it, like if I'm gonna build sometime in the future in another video, like as an economical city daily driving car, I'm gonna use this one, or maybe use the direct fuel injected one, because that one will be more efficient than this one. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna delete it, because I'm really proud of it. It's high tech, it's very modern, it's economical, it's efficient, it's very lightweight, and that's why I like this engine. Even if it's boring, but I still like it. Alright, so let's move on and try and do the let's not try. Let's imagine that you are a car enthusiast. You love cars, and you had to buy this Hyundai Accent, to do your daily shopping, to do your daily errands. You want to go to the gym, wherever you want to drive economically. You don't want to burn more fuel. Let's imagine that you have this kind of car and you want to add more power to it, without burning too much fuel. Now let's go back and let's search for this beast. I hate searching for engines in automation game, because I made a lot of engines and I don't really know where this one is. So bear with me a little bit while we search for it and find it, because I made another clone of it, but I did not do anything to it yet. So we will go step by step of how to make it. Here we go. Stock and stock clone. Alright, stock clone, you will not be stock for a long while. Alright, we have this engine now. It's the same specs as before. As you can see, it's the same everything. Here we go. Let's verify everything the same power, the same torque, the same everything. Alright, now let's tweak it. Let's see. Let's start with, for example, it's already maxed at 91 octane fuel, so nothing much you can do except changing the intake manifold. Changing the intake manifold and the intake system, so you can allow more air into the engine. And also let's change the exhaust, the header, the exhaust. Let's put a high flow exhaust system, high flow headers, and I add a little bit more ignition timing, maybe, if we can. Alright, let's start with it. performance intake manifold. Let's say you went online and you find like a high performance intake manifold and a bigger throttle body and let's say a high performance airbox and air filter and snorkel, like a cold air intake, for example. Let's see how much we did. Alright, now so as you can see, we have more fuel efficiency. The engine is a little bit louder because you can hear the induction sound now, and of course it's 100 horsepower, 100 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, or precisely 100 horsepower, 99.5 pound-feet of torque. Alright, let's fire up this beast and hear how it sounds with a high performance intake manifold and intake system. Alright, we can hear it much louder. Alright, it sounds very good actually. It doesn't sound that much bad. I mean, the high performance intake manifold, you can hear the induction sound, which is a good sound. Alright, so now we have this one now. Imagine that you are saving some money so you can tweak it more, and now it's the exhaust turn. You will go to an exhaust shop or to let's say a very qualified mechanic, or let's say you went online and find like a high performance exhaust system for your Hyundai as a kit, and you order it and let's see how it will perform. Because as we all know, a lot of kits comes like online from Amazon, eBay, wherever, comes with a tubular header like this comes in a kit. And let's see what else. This one is 1.8 inch. Let's say it's like switching to a 2-inch, a high flow 3-way catalytic converter, straight through muffler, and as you can see, we already have like 5 extra horsepower. We have extra 5 horsepower, and we have like exactly 100 pound-feet of torque. So the engine now it's more torquey, it's more powerful, but I think we lost a little bit of fuel efficiency. Yes, we used to be 19.2%, now it's 19.1%, and it's more louder now. It's like a performance engine. It's lighter. Look, check out the difference in weight. It's getting lighter by the minute. Alright, now you can hear it more. Alright, now imagine that you are driving the car, you are enjoying the extra horsepower and the extra torque from the same basic engine, and you want more. You got bored and you want more. Let's see now. The most efficient way to go is to get a tune for your engine. I mean, as you can see right now, I don't want to add more fuel, and let's see if you can add like a little bit of ignition in. Right, more, well, a little, 1 degree of ignition timing, and we got like extra 1 horsepower and extra not extra 1 horsepower, like half a horsepower and half a pound-feet of torque. Not that much, but if you want to continue modify your engine and tweak it, you have to switch to a higher octane fuel. Like from regular, you have to use premium now. Alright, so you switch to premium fuel. You went to the dyno and they added like, let's see how much ignition we can add. Like, let's go all the way. Alright, all the way. You will have, now we have like extra 3 pound-feet of torques, like extra 1.7 horsepower than before, and the engine is running more efficient now. It's more responsive, which is good. Now you have extra power to burn and less fuel also. That's cool. Alright, let's fire up this beast and see if it makes any difference. Alright, sounds much better, sounds very powerful and very torquey for a 1.4 liter engine. And also, you've been driving it, you've been saving some money, you want to tweak this engine even more. You got bored with it, you want to tweak it more. Now let's move on to the camshaft. Now you want to open the engine, you don't want to keep it, stock. Let's see, like you went online to Cams or let's say Edelbrock or whatever company makes these kind of camshaft for this engine. You have right now 45, which is in between. It's normal, it's very close to a sporty camshaft. Let's say you want to order like a sporty camshaft. Let's see how high we can go before we start to lose torque. Alright, so let's see, let's say you ordered like a 65. Alright, no, not 65, like this, 63 for example, in between. Like, not a high performance camshaft, a performance camshaft. As you can see, you have installed it, you have more loop on your camshaft, so the valves can open even wider, and of course you have to change these valve springs to stiffer ones so you can keep everything healthy and running perfectly. So as you can see right now we have 118 pound-feet horsepower and 106.6 pound-feet of torque. We started in life in 99 horsepower. Now we have 118 horsepower. It's like extra 19 horsepower, which is good. The engine of course will run less efficient because high performance camshaft will hurt fuel economy because the valves will keep opening, and you have to take the car to a dyno so they can tune it. And so they can tell the ECU that you are running a bigger camshaft. Let's see how. I mean, if I want to make the engine more economical, I can just drop the fuel mixture, so I can hit the 95 wall, but the engine will lose horsepower. As you can see, let me show you. If I want to make the engine efficient, just like this, yes, 13.9. And you will have like only 115 horsepower, not 118 if you want to make your engine efficient. But if you want to keep it as stock on 13.0, you will gain horsepower and torque, but you will lose a little bit of fuel efficiency. So it's up to you when you are going to the dyno to tell the tuner what kind of tune you want, a high performance one or an economical one. As you can hear, it sounds different now because we have aggressive camshafts in. Alright, I forgot to mention also if you can go to the dyno, because these engines can take a lot more RPM, as you can see, up to 7,200. So the tuner can actually raise the RPM limit, let's say to 7,000. That's more healthy. Let's not go too far. 7,000 is good. As you can see, look at the power now, 124 horsepower just by raising the RPM of the engine. Because these engines can take more RPM, but Hyundai limited them so they can keep them more reliable. Now the engine is running perfectly powerful and torquey, but as you saw, the vacuum gauge here, the throttle body is a single throttle body is restricting the air going to the engine. But I'm not going to go to a throttle per cylinder because this is expensive. This is not cheap at all. As you can see, the material cost, yes, it's more. So now let's see, you are happy with the engine, you are burning rubber and you are just kicking everyone's butt on the stopping lights. You were stopped like next to a Hyundai accent like yours, because you kept yours stock from outside. We kept it very, very stock from outside. You did not change any, the rims, the bumpers, everything is stock, of course, but you have to put high performance tires so you can have grip, and maybe you can change the brake pads so you can have better brakes, because you have more power, you can go faster, you need to stop faster as well. Let's see, you are stopping on a stoplight. Can you imagine stopping next to a normal stock Hyundai accent and he wants like to race or something, and just put your foot down and just leave him into the dust? It will be an amazing feeling. Alright, so you are saving more money, you are working hard, you are saving more, and you want more horsepower. The reason Now the healthiest step is of course to go to a long tubular headers, and this requires a high qualified welder. You cannot find these in a kit. These are very rare in a kit. You can find these in a kit like on V8s, on Chevys, Mopar, Fords. You can find these as kits, but for inline engines you have to build them from scratch. You need to find a qualified mechanic that can weld, as you can see, and these has to be engineered perfectly, so you need a high qualified mechanic. And check out the difference from 124 horsepower to 132 horsepower. Amazing. And you will get more fuel efficiency, and you will use less octane. Of course, you will have more emissions because these are not restrictive at all. And the engine will get much lighter. Like, look, extra one kilogram, a whole kilogram lighter. That's cool. And you will get a louder exhaust. And now we can burn more rubber. As you can hear, the engine sounds much better, and it performs much better. But I really hope that the transmission can take this kind of power and this kind of torque. I mean, a CVT transmission, it's not a weak transmission, no, it's not a weak gearbox, but I don't know how much it can take, how much torque it can take before exploding or before it starts to slipping. Which is a problem actually, because when you tweak your engine you need to worry about the clutch or the gearbox itself if you are using an automatic gearbox. Yes, so you have to worry about that as well. And if you are a Hyundai enthusiast, if you have a fan here in the channel that is watching the video and you are a Hyundai enthusiast, please tell me in the comment section below how much horsepower the transmission can take, or how much torque it can take before exploding. Alright, so now it's up to you here. Should you have saved some money and you want to tweak it even more? It's up to you. You want to keep it naturally aspirated, or you want to add a boosting snail here. And of course, all of us know the answer here. All of us. Yes, here. Of course, you will go to a turbocharger. Of course, it's very relevant, and everyone wants it. It's expensive, but it will make this engine, it will transform it to a beast. Let's see, let's start tweaking it first. Ignition timing, you have to decrease it too much. Alright, let's say 220. Boost, let's start with 10 psi. This is too big for this engine, let's say 40. And this one all the way to the ground, this one all the way to the top. Let's keep it like this. Ball bearing, and we are good to go. Yes, 162 horsepower. 162 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque. This is not efficient yet. Let's start and tweak it. Let's see how much we can... No, let's keep it 40 or 41 as an official size. The turbine, no, let's keep it like this, 27. And intercooler, like this, that's more efficient. And boost, let's say 11 psi is good. We don't want to blow the engine up. No, actually let's drop it to, let's say, yes, 8 psi. I'll tell you why, because we have, look at the ignition timing, it's very low. So let's add more ignition. We will get more fuel efficiency and we'll get more power. As you can see on 43 we have 165 horsepower, and of course we have 135 pound-feet of torque on the same stock engine. But of course you have to do some tweaks first. For example, you need to buy a different airbox, a different snorkel, like a custom one. You need a custom piping. You need not this kind of, this is a big intercooler. No, this is wrong. You need like a tiny intercooler, a small one that can support this kind of boost. You need, I think you need better what call them, spark plugs, coils. Yes, you need better coils. You need better fuel injectors. It will cost you. It's not cheap to turbocharge an engine, but the results are very good. As you can see, look at the power. We started at 99 horsepower. We have extra 66 horsepower, and look at the torque. We started at 98 pound-feet of torque. Now it's 134 pound-feet of torque. And yes, the engine is yes, it's much heavier, like extra 20 kilograms because of the turbo, the piping, and the intercooler. All these add weight. And as you can see, the engine is more efficient than before. It's more powerful, more torquey, but less responsive. And now let's see if the exhaust is perfect for it. But before changing the exhaust, because we are broke right now, we need to work and save more money. Let's start playing with the engine. Can you imagine the first time firing the engine with a turbocharger and do a burnout or something? Sounds very good, and the blow-up valve sounds amazing. Alright, so you've been enjoying the engine, but also you want more. You want more power. The exhaust, I think, is restricting. Yes, 96, and the intake is restricting as well. Alright, so let's change the exhaust. Let's see, what should we do here? Alright, let's see. You want a bigger size exhaust maybe, or if you want to go cheap, you can just remove the normal second muffler, normal straight through, and put another second. You want to put another muffler with bypass valves. These are common. You can find these aftermarket, and you can remove your current mufflers, put these aftermarket mufflers with bypass valves in them. You can just press a button and you are good to go. But the engine is knocking right now because we have an extra high flow of exhaust, so you can drop an ignition timing and check out the difference. It used to be like this, 165. Just remove this muffler, add an aftermarket muffler with a bypass valve, and check out the difference. Amazing, like extra 4 horsepower just by putting a bypass muffler. Alright, so if you don't want to go with a bigger turbo because it will make the engine less efficient, changing the exhaust size will not make any extra difference. As you can see, I mean, yes, 1 horsepower only, that really doesn't. I mean, it's 2-inch exhaust now. It's not small. It's a decent size exhaust. So now the efficient way to go is changing the intake manifold. Let's say you went online and you searched like for these Hyundai rally engines, and because those rally engines uses all the time, I think, throttle per cylinder or individual throttle bodies. Let's say you went online and bought them. Yes, change your engine to 4 individual throttle bodies. Like if there's a kit, or from those rally cars, or from a racing car, even if you can find like from other brands, from Toyota, that can work on this engine, it will be perfect. Individual throttle bodies, throttle linkages, and this, as you can see, intake manifold here, it will be amazing. And check out the power, 170 horsepower, 131 pound-feet of torque, and we are knocking, I guess. Yes, we are knocking. So it's up to you. Add more fuel in or take out ignition timing. Let's see, take out ignition timing, 173. Add more fuel in, 174. So it's up to you. Personally, I would add more fuel in, 174 horsepower, 134 pound-feet of torque. Now this is powerful. Now this is a powerful engine, really powerful. What a beast, 174 horsepower from this tiny engine. Wow, I mean, thanks to these magical snorkel turbochargers, I mean, our lives is getting more powerful and more torquey because of these little monsters here. I love turbochargers. I mean, I love also superchargers, especially the twin screw ones on V8s, but turbos are just wow. And the blow-up valve sound, I mean, who doesn't love it? It sounds absolutely amazing. Alright, so what's the next step, do you think? Bigger exhaust or more boost in? Let's see, bigger exhaust. It will add like extra 2 horsepower. Yeah, if you can go to an exhaust shop and put a 2.2-inch exhaust diameter, you will get more power, as you can see. Let's see, you took out this stupid aftermarket bypass valve and you put a high quality one, for example. Maybe no, it will not make any kind of difference, so let's keep it. Don't change it. Don't let the ads fool you. Alright, let's move on with turbo. Let's say when to tweak it. Let's say I want to buy like a bigger turbo. No, actually we'll lose power. As you can see, the turbo itself is efficient right now. Don't change it. 40.5. Also the turbine, as you can see, the engine is actually maxed out. Yes, putting a bigger turbine will not result in any kind of more power. You can add more boost if you want. Let's see, add more fuel input and more boost in. 180 horsepower. Alright, now this is powerful. Let's say change the camshaft maybe to a more aggressive ones. Yes, let's say a really high performance camshaft, not racing camshaft, high performance camshaft. Yes, that's better, and they will be much more high quality. Change the fuel injectors to a higher quality ones. Add more ignition in, like a tiny bit. Add more boost in. This 194 horsepower, 150 pound-feet of torque. No need to go with bigger exhaust system. Let's see, what else should we do? I want to crack the 200 horsepower mark. I want to crack it. Or let's see, let's go crazy and change into like a racing camshaft like this. Like this 86 on the camshaft. This is like a racing camshaft right now. I want 200 horsepower. Give me 200. Let's say more fuel in, more boost in. Yeah, I know the engine is running less efficient by the minute. If you are living in Europe or any country that supports 98 octane, that will be much better. But since I'm gonna make this engine like a universal engine to everyone, because every country has 95 octane fuel. All right, let's go with a 2.5-inch exhaust diameter, as you can see, high quality one, and we have 200 horsepower. All right, here we go. We have 201 horsepower and 154 pound-feet of torque. Now this is a powerful engine, but again, I don't know if the exhaust can support this kind of power or not. Let's fire it up. As you can hear, it sounds very aggressive because it has racing camshaft in it. What an engine now it is. It's running perfectly, it's powerful, it's very torquey. Can you imagine this tiny car, this Hyundai accent with a 200 horsepower turbocharged engine and 154 pound-feet of torque? Can you imagine how quickly it will go off the line and how torquey it will be and how nice to drive it will be? Of course, it will be less fuel economical, but this power, I would sacrifice this 2%. I would sacrifice 2% of fuel efficiency for this kind of power. Wow, it will be a rocket ship. And now this is not a stock clone, this is a high high, let's see, high performance, or no, let's say what's that? Turbo HP, that means high performance. And yes, 95 octane, 95. All right. So if you enjoyed the video, please guys, I'm really happy that you're watching my video. Thank you so much for watching. But please, if you enjoy my videos, hit that like button, get subscribed, and share the video for more if you want. And this has been like not episode number 1, but this is a new episode for the series of turning a boring engine into a racing or a high performance tuner dream engine. If you have a request for a boring engine, please search for boring engines. I want you to go online, or if you're driving like a boring car, tell me what's your brand, what kind of car you're driving, and what kind of engine you have. And maybe in the next episode of this program that we are or this series that we are making, I will make maybe your own engine if you own this engine or not. I want to see those boring engines in the comment section below. Tell me what's the most boring engine ever on earth. And of course you need to check that if the game can support it or not. If the game can support it, please write it down in the comment section below so I can make it in the next episode. I will choose the most boring engine, and the least powerful engine. You will write in the comment section below, and I will make it in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. Again, please, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, get subscribed, share the video again, and keep requesting engines, and don't forget about the boring engines. And I'm gonna see you very soon, and goodbye for now, my friends.